That's brilliant. And I think it's a brilliant setup for why these muscles are so important and why they're not just, in order to, look good when you're young. I have a 16-year-old son who's like very excited by the fact that he's just grown taller than me. Like literally every day he wakes up and his muscles have grown and he's discovered that he can go to the gym and he's like getting this great pleasure, which I love from it. And which, based upon podcasts like this, I'm very supportive of. But he's definitely not worrying about like his long-term health, right? He basically just is totally focused on the day that he's stronger than me.
And again, you can say patterns that we all set in our younger years, and your younger, depending on where you are, your younger years can be anywhere, right? So it can be the 16-year-old, it can be the 30-year-old, it can be the 50-year-old, and that will all help. Right. So it doesn't go astray, I guess is the point I want to make. You can start being active at any age. Obviously, there are certain ages you need to be a little bit more aware of any kind of clinical issues. But for the most part, making an effort to be active is only, as far as all the research I've ever seen, is only going to help you. When we were talking about that sort of time of day differences in gene expression, they have a little bit stronger gene expression changes based on time of day.
So does that mean that actually your advice on time of day might even be potentially more important for them because the differences are stronger, or no?
No, I think what we're learning with at least studies in women, studies in female animals, is that they can handle a challenge, right? So they can handle whether it's a jet lag, whether it's something that interferes with the circadian clock or the timer function. The females handle that better than males.
I wish you told me this 5 years ago, because I remember when our little girl was really small, I felt that I was definitely struggling worse than Justine to deal with like all the interrupted nights. And now I'd be like, well, science has proven that you're better able to cope with this, is I think what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah, it's just your biology. And then maybe, making sure that the end of your day, you're getting the kind of nutrition and an amount of food that you really need to sort of support the muscle health.
Got it. So I think there's a real personalization you're describing here, because it sounds like you're also saying there might be somebody else who has maybe real metabolic problems, and therefore perhaps you might reduce the time frame. So this is obviously a really interesting area of research, it sounds like. I'm guessing that there's going to be a lot more research looking at how this actually works in humans, which we know, and I've learned through this, often behave differently from mice or whatever else, in order to understand how these time periods might really, be optimized for people at, particular stages of life.